welcome to the March 1st, 2021 Public Council meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting was duly provided to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and the Star Ledger by email and published in the annual schedule of meetings December 24th, 2020, filed with the Township Clerk and posted on the Public Bulletin Board in the Municipal Building Lobby in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Can I have roll call, please?
Councilman Spicala.
Here.
Councilman Masseri.
Here.
Councilman Zacchelli.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Tonella. Mayor Peterson.
Here, please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item 2, approval of minutes. A, to consider approval of minutes of the regular public meeting, January 11th, 2021, and that will be with release.
It's a regular public meeting, so
Oh, okay, so I'm so used to saying with,
I know.
so without release, I just want to.
it's only executive session. You have to.
Can I have a motion?
Make the motion, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Spicala.
Yes.
Councilman Masseri.
Yes.
Councilman Zacchelli.
Yes.
Mayor Peterson.
Yes. Item 3, meeting is now open to any residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on the agenda. Seeing none, we will move on to number 4, reports of township officials. Township manager, good evening, Mr. Tucci.
Good evening, Mayor. I only have one item this evening, but it's more of a presentation item than it is a report.
Okay.
I had a meeting with the county executive last Friday, and I don't know if everybody's familiar with the sand pit on the bottom of Ozone Avenue on Grove Avenue. It's next to the apartments.
Yes.
It's a county piece of property.
Yes.
It's between
Luke's Auto
Luke's
Body.
Auto Body and the apartments.
Yeah.
Well, the county owns that property,
Yes.
and they are going to be putting a facility there, a building. And this is the rendering that they're going to be doing here. It's basically going to mimic, only not as big as the Public Works building across from Panther Park.
Okay.
And what's going to happen here is, it's going to house their sign shop, they're going to have some cars from the prosecutor's office in here, and some of the equipment that they have here. As a county-owned facility and county-owned and operated, there is not a requirement that they go to the planning board for a formal approval, but they do have to send the plans as a notification, and the county executive asked me to present this to you to show you what their train of thought is and what's going to happen there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be sending this set of plans to the planning board for their review, and that's under the land use law. That's the only requirement on county facilities that are required. But it's a nice looking building. I mean, the county executive always does a good job, and he said any comments from the governing body, he would gladly take any suggestions under consideration before he starts the project.
Okay. How many people about will be there, and that's a Monday through Friday?
It's a Monday through Friday operation. It's mainly going to be the sign shop and storage. So outside of emergencies such as snow, you know, they may have some backhoes or something else stored in here. But besides that, on a regular basis, you're not going to see the activity on the weekends there.
But there'll be people working there Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday.
8 to 4, like what regular business hours?
He did indicate that the first thing that he intends to do, because he knows it's sensitive with the apartments, he's going to be putting a tree buffer all along, even before he starts the construction, to try to block out anything
Okay.
that goes on there.
I know that area well, because I run by it every day, but it's pretty set back.
Right. It's going to be like in that hole.
It's in a hole, like you don't even know what's going on back there. It just looks, and I saw that they had cleared it all out.
They did clean it up,
Yeah,
and they started to put, because initially they were starting to put junk vehicles, and they told them no junk vehicles. If you want to put county utilized vehicles, you could do that. And they did take everything out, they cleaned it up, they paved it, but they want to get the stuff indoors.
okay,
And this way, even from our perspective, it's not unsightly because it'll be inside the building.
right.
There won't be stuff stored outside any longer, and the prosecutor's office will keep their vehicles here also.
Okay, will the people who live in that condo complex be notified of this, and Luke's Auto Body?
Yes.
As well?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Mayor, just a quick question. They're parking there presently, right?
They're parking there
But
presently.
Yeah,
it's not covered.
It's just not covered.
Right,
It's like a dirt lot.
yeah.
Oh, actually, they paved it.
Oh, they did?
They
Oh, I
did
couldn't
pave
even
it.
see that from the road. It's so far back,
Yeah.
so you don't
And
see.
even this is gonna set back, as you can see, there'll be a large lawn area set back, and, the facade of the building's gonna match up to basically what's here and what's on Bloomfield Avenue.
Right,
At
right.
the engineering department.
I think it looks good. Jody does a nice job on the building, so.
But again, he wanted to stress that if the governing body had any comments or concerns, he'll address them up front. Not an issue at all.
No, I mean, I don't.
Where's your name going on it with the Tom Tucci bill?
That's a good point.
I don't know, I didn't see that. That's a problem.
It'll be on the side, I'm sure, next to the trees. But that's all I have for this evening.
Okay, that's it?
Right, and
Okay.
if you have any comments that you think of later on, just let me know.
Mayor, can we put this on the website maybe? Just a picture of it or something for
We
people
could.
to see?
What I want to do is I want to send it to the planning board first, and then we can put it up.
Okay,
We could take a photo and put it up there.
Perfect, thank you.
okay, very good. Thanks, Mr. Tucci. And Mrs. Stats, good evening.
Good evening, no report.
No report, okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very good.
Any report?
No report.
No report, okay, nice and easy. Reports of the council, I'll start with Councilman Massari.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening.
I just have one item, and it's not really a report. It's more about just highlighting some good news in the town. In our packet, we saw the information concerning Officer Michael Pasafiumi and
Yes.
catching a burglar and his foundation. We were talking about it at the budget meeting when we had the opportunity to have the chief in front of us, that we do every year. It was, with COVID and with everything that they've been going through in the last year, they did a tremendous job. We advised that, but I wanted to take note. This is the kind of department that we have. Tremendous work, and you feel safe, in our community knowing that the police officers are going out every day and doing their job. So
Yeah.
I just want to take note of that and to put it out there. So,
I agree, thank you so much. And Mr. Tucci, he's given an accommodation from the chief,
So he's
correct?
given an accommodation from
Yeah.
the chief, and what happens is, every time one of these accommodations come up, it goes in the employee's file.
Right.
So anybody comes to pull the file, they'll see, the track record of what this officer has accomplished.
Right, yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
And also it comes up at promotion
Right,
time also.
exactly.
Yeah.
More importantly,
More importantly, I was just gonna say, so.
Great, that's all I have.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much. Councilman Scala?
No report, Mayor, thanks.
Okay, Councilman Kelly?
Keep it quick, Mayor. Mr. Tucci, I was wondering if you could reach out to Marisa from the Rec Department. The Downtown Advisory Committee would like to extend an invitation to their next meeting to her if she's available to discuss social media posting. I know it's something we've discussed prior, in different meetings. And if she can make it, great. If not, we'll set up a different time.
Do we have a time or?
Yes, it's Tuesday, March 16th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. If she's available, I could email her that link, or I could email it to you. And if that doesn't work for her, I know it's an evening,
You said 6 p.m.?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
Yeah. If that doesn't work for her, we could set up a different time. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to
Okay.
meet with her. Mayor, a resident reached out to me about the litter on Grove Avenue. That concern has been not addressed, but it's been recognized by the county. They're gonna work on that, and I'm sure if there's still an issue, that'll be followed up. Same in that vein, the clean sweep, do we have a date for that, or
Not
potential
yet.
date? Okay. So that was
Normally, Clean Sweep is the first Saturday in June.
June.
Oh, June?
Yeah,
I thought
June.
it was in April.
Okay, that was the only question the resident had. That's it, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Tucci, did you want me to bring up that street ordinance, or we're gonna do that?
You can bring it up, and then
Okay.
we'll save it for discussion at the staff meeting.
Okay.
Because
all right.
normally, the progression and flow is, we discuss them at the staff meeting, and then we take action at the
Okay,
public meeting.
perfect. So I received a few complaints from various residents who live on Union Street and Garrett Street regarding on-street parking. I think the issue is Dr. Peluso is doing construction he's building that building next door to his office. So he's having trouble with his lot because of the construction, and everybody, his staff and patients are all parking on Union and on Garrett. And with this, complaints came a while ago, and then in the event of snow, it got a little worse. So people are having a hard time seeing, getting out of their driveway, all these kinds of issues. So, we always take what residents say to heart. They're very upset. But that being said, like Mr. Tucci and I spoke, it's a balance. We have a business owner in town who's doing the best he can during a temporary circumstance. The construction will be over. It was delayed because of COVID. And he's done a lot for the community. He's given back. So we're trying to come up with the best, kind of decision on how to handle this to benefit both the business and our residents. So,
Well, we ended up basically with the perfect storm. We had a business owner doing construction with a new building. We had COVID-19, so we had COVID testing going across the street with
Right.
people potentially parking there. Then we have a major snowstorm, which narrows the roadway, and we have the residents that live on the street are having a hard time accessing their driveway, and then even with line of sight coming out Union Street onto Pompton Avenue. So again, all those circumstances all at one time is what created the condition. And as the mayor said, we're trying to balance this out. The property owner and dentist has to understand the residents, and the residents have to understand. And plus, the COVID testing has died down a little bit now. The snow has gone away, so everything seems to be dying down. Also, we got a message from the dentist that he directed his people to park back in his parking lot now. So hopefully that will relieve a
Right.
lot of tension that's going on here.
yeah.
But again, we're still gonna look at the first portion from Pompton Avenue up to Garrett on Union to create a no parking situation, because it is very tight there, even during emergency situation when there is no snow on the roadway. So we're just trying to clear up that little bit of congestion.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So I guess we'll just see kind of how the next couple weeks
Exactly.
go. Hopefully snow will be gone, maybe with him instructing his staff to park in the lot. We'll get a temperature from because they have no problem reaching out. So if it's not, which is fine, that's what they should be doing.
Exactly. But again,
I'm always,
we'll,
it's fine.
we'll touch base with them again to see what their temperament is. at that
Right,
point.
right. Yep, so just so you all know that this has kind of been going on, and Mr. Pucci and I were discussing the possibility of passing an ordinance too. So I guess if in 2 weeks we feel that needs to be done, we'll
Yeah,
revisit.
we may have no parking on one side, 2 hour on the opposite side, or no parking on both, depending upon, we're gonna have our traffic safety officer take a look at it, give us a letter of recommendation, and then we'll proceed from there, whatever the governing body's direction is.
Is the building that he's building, is that gonna have its own parking?
It's gonna have its own standalone parking.
And so, right now, I guess, what materials or things for the construction are taking up his parking lot?
Well,
Or
not necessarily. The parking lot, because the police have been monitoring it, has been empty all the time. We don't understand why his employees couldn't park there right now. And that's the puzzling part of the whole thing. And again, he may have underlying reasons why that we don't know about. But we've had the police department go to him, reach out to him, the traffic safety officer went, the police chief went, the township engineer went. So you can't say that there wasn't communication here. There has been communication. Something's going on there that we're not seeing at this point.
Yeah.
is it blocked off for his, I haven't been there in a while, I think we go next week. Is it blocked off for
Don't park back.
his, I know. for
Just don't
his-
bring it up while you're there.
No, I don't, that-
There's a drill in his hand.
his hand's in my son's mouth.
Wait in the car.
But I mean, is he directing his patients to not park there too, or?
Well, everybody was on the street.
I
The
don't know.
parking lot was totally empty. If you went by, and that's what the police were monitoring, they'd stop every hour on the hour just to see, and the parking lot would be empty, and that was the mystery. Why are you making your employees? I could understand if your parking lot was full and you're making them park on the street, but the parking lot was empty. And that's the puzzling part that,
So my observation has been, and I was there, and I think part of it was COVID too, because unlike normal, visits where everybody goes into the waiting room and then you go now it's kind of, you sit in your car, you wait to be called in the parking lot. But while I'm sitting in the car, my son is inside, like yours, Joe. I noticed that the construction, they had to move cars because they're getting deliveries, big trucks coming in and out, and it's an adjoining driveway between both buildings. So you have these deliveries, and there's, certainly a lot of disruption during the day. So, as you said before, perfect storm, I think it's a combination of a lot of different things.
But hopefully we're past that
I think
stage.
so. I think that,
Yeah.
and the resident, you think, for the residents, it's not fair to them as well.
It's
because
not, and listening to their complaints,
Yep.
they're not, they're
Legitimate.
legitimate,
No, they
I
are.
get it. You
Mr.
get upset
Tucci.
when you can't get out of your driveway.
Yeah.
I do.
Can you park on that portion of 23 now that it's restriped in front of the building
There is some on-street parking.
on 23
So
too?
in front
So
of Dr. Paluso's office, is that one of the, that's a good question, I meant to ask that, where did?
I don't think
start?
it extends up that far, the parking on the street.
Okay.
I think the parking on the street is mainly in the downtown business area.
That's what so it's
Just down-
past his office?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good, thank you guys.
Okay.
And all I had, also the little free pantry is going to be installed tomorrow?
Tomorrow, unless an emergency comes up like a water main break,
Okay.
it will be installed tomorrow.
And it's good because a lot of the snow is clearing now, so it's a perfect time to put it in. And then what are the next steps? Once it's in, then they come in to
They
fill
will,
it?
as a matter of fact, they're ready to stock it today.
Perfect,
They have their people, they already have their donations.
okay.
I think they're gonna put something out in town, but I don't think they're gonna need to advertise. I think people are just gonna go and
Right.
start stocking it. As a matter of fact, I think you were all invited, Reverend Sarah has invited everybody. We're gonna do a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Okay,
And they would like, because the governing body is, just not helping them, you're a participant in this.
When is that?
You're a partner. Huh?
When?
The installation's gonna be tomorrow. Reverend Sarah's gonna let me know when she wants to do the picture-taking ceremony, the ribbon
nice.
cutting.
And thank you, Mr. Tucci, for making it, I know you got the insurance, you got it built, you paid for the material.
Well, the township is a partner in this, as the mayor
So,
said.
right.
The mayor originally brought the suggestion up. Councilman Zakelli and I met with him. The mayor happened to be away that day. So we went there. We not only gave them authorization to do it, we paid for it, we built it, and we're installing it. So I think we're a pretty good partner. Plus, the church was concerned about insurance. So as a partner, we offer a certificate of insurance to cover it also. So that's where we are.
Okay.
Excellent.
Perfect, thank you very much for that. And the only other thing I have is I request executive session, and the nature of that is contract negotiations. So that's all I have. Thank you. Okay, new business. A is to consider introduction of pending ordinance number 21-869, authorizing lease of Morgan Farm to Cedar Grove Historical Society.
Mayor, under discussion, Mr. Tucci, is this lease amended to include the new insurance rate?
I haven't gotten the amendment with the new insurance rate. As you know, we discussed this, the insurance was $5 million, and society came back to us and said, wow, that's really exorbitant, when they went to their agent. So what we did was, we looked at the one previous, it was $2 million, and we thought $2 million was sufficient, so we made that adjustment.
Okay.
Fortunately, we, in the transition with the town attorneys, our former town attorney retained that piece, and I think they've been in contact with the clerk, correct?
Yes, regarding the ordinance, I
Right.
haven't received a
You haven't
clean-
received the amendment on,
Right.
right,
So this includes the $5 million one? or-
The $2 million.
It's not- This is
This is the
okay,
2 million.
okay.
This is the 2
That's
million.
what, okay,
Okay.
perfect. That's what I want to know. Great. Okay, any other discussion? No?
Mayor, I move introduction of pending ordinance number 21-869 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for April 5th, 2021.
Second?
Thank you. Roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Masseri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes. Item B, to consider resolution concerning approval of raffle application St. Catherine of Siena HSA.
Mayor, I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Roll call, please?
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Masseri?
Yes.
Councilman Zakelli?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes. The meeting is open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on or off the agenda concerning township business. Seeing none, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So
Oh.
moved, Mayor.
Okay, wait, we're gonna go into executive. So whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-12B 1 through 9 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting of the mayor and council in certain circumstances, and whereas the mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove are of the opinion that such circumstances exist, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action on the executive session of the meeting of the mayor and council of March 1st, 2021. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is contract negotiations. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter will be made public so soon thereafter as it is deemed in the public interest to do so. The resolution shall take effect immediately. Hi, Mr. Russomanno. Thanks for coming. We missed you. At least we got someone.
I knew it was gonna be late tonight.
I'll see you at home.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Sakala?
Yes.
Councilman Masseri? Councilman Zakali?
Yes.
Mayor Peterson?
Yes. Okay.